101.3 TBS EFM Primetime.
Time now for the Seoul City News, and joining us here in the studio, our brand new Seoul City News reporter Jessica Lee is here in the studio. Good evening, Jessica.
Good evening, Henry.
Well, it's your second day. I'm sure you're excited. But I'm curious, how's the traffic outside right now? I heard it's pretty bad.
Traffic was pretty bad, especially the Namsan. The tunnel I was stuck in there for over 40-50 minutes.
Yeah, so I think a lot of our commuters outside listening are probably feeling your pain. Nevertheless, we are very glad, of course, that you are joining us here.
Thank you.
Speaking of traffic and getting around, a lot of people, if they need to get somewhere quickly or if it's late at night, they end up taking taxis. There's been an alternative way of getting someone to drive you around from place to place. It is this global sensation known as Uber. Now, some controversy here in the city, Jessica. Seoul is apparently planning to ban this ride-sharing app from mobile phones. This is right as they're trying to actually accelerate their expansion in Asia.
True. Well, the Seoul metropolitan government is considering blocking the Uber mobile application. Just for the record, some of you guys doesn't know about the Uber. What it does is it's an application, but it allows the passengers to connect with the private drivers through your smartphone and pick them up and take them to your destination. So it's very close to the concept of like cold taxi. However, this is considered illegal under the country's Passenger Transport Service Act. Well, last week, the Transport Ministry proposed a ban on the service.
Yeah, okay. So what we have is you download the app and then you sign up for the service, you register your credit card, and then if you're, in a place where you really need to get somewhere, no other way to go, public transportation, you dial up that app and they'll send you a car and drive you in a very comfortable setting. Everyone will say this sounds great. What's the problem?
The city pointed out that it creates unfair competition for taxi drivers, when actually Uber drivers are mostly using their own sedan or rented car, which are not covering other passengers' insurance claim, so that users won't receive a compensation in case of any accident. And if insurance company denies to pay to the third party, that's the issue. And another issue is that the registered taxi companies can filter out some of the sexual offenders or unlicensed drivers. And of course, their vehicles has to be regularly checked up. While for Uber, it is difficult to verify the driver's qualification and their car maintenance status.
Okay, in your view, just looking into this issue, what do you think makes Uber so special and why it's gaining popularity?
Well, if you ever try Uber, its convenience is incompatible. People don't really have to worry about getting a taxi on the street in the middle of the night because once you mark your location in your application through your smartphone, soon it sends you the nearest driver with the sleek and executive-style black car. And even a bottle of water is waiting for you in the car. So, although the Uber fare is almost twice as the regular taxi, their customers have been gradually increased.
Yeah, and it really, I think, goes to show here. Other countries actually have Uber taxis cars be comparable or even cheaper than the local taxi rates. But here it's actually twice, but still people want to go, meaning that some of the taxi drivers here don't always behave very well during certainly very busy hours. There is, of course, a battle of technological advance against the very old business model. What was Uber's reaction to all this?
Okay, so the Uber spokesman in Seoul, they completely denied that the service is illegal, as Uber is a technology company that simply connects drivers with the passengers, and claimed that Seoul is in danger of remaining trapped in the past and getting left behind by the global sharing economy movement.
Yeah, it's controversial everywhere, not just Korea. There's been other countries that have been issuing bans as well. We'll have to see how this goes. I think a lot of people will be interested to see what ultimately is the fate of Uber. Let's turn to our second story now,
Sure.
Jessica. There are a lot of animation animation fans, they pack auditoriums in Seoul every year to see why the city is an epicenter of animated craftsmanship.
The Seoul International Cartoon and Animation Festival has kicked off today in and around the Myeongdong shopping area and Namsan Mountain area. This is one of the 5 major animated film festivals in the world and held for 18th time this year. It will feature 362 movies from 43 countries, as well as represent cartoon animation showcase with the various Korean animated characters such as Lava and Dragonflight.
You know, Myeongdong is one of the business areas here in the city. They're actually going to take an event here in the streets?
Yes, the festival's executive committee president Kim Kwang-han said the festival is of great importance as it will take place in Myeongdong, the so-called birthplace of a country's modern culture. So for the first time, Myeongdong shopping district and a Jungangro will be decorated with the animation characters from Friday to Sunday. Well, as the city government has designated the area as the Street of Cartoon and Animation Street, so the street vending will be prohibited during this time.
Any other business aspects of this festival other than just simply exhibitions?
Yes, of course. Other than exhibition and this other showcase, they're also called SPP, Seoul Promotion Plan. It's a series of business workshops for local animated filmmakers and cartoon artists who are actually looking for the business opportunity overseas. So throughout this program, you can taste new trends of industry and explore trade market and find business partner and creative artworks.
Great. I think a lot of people will be looking forward to that. We do have time for one more story, Jessica.
Definitely.
We'll be talking about the city's public dormitory. It's opening to citizens.
Yes, the Seoul citizens now allowed to stay in the city's public dormitory. It has been only accepted college students, but because of the condition of you got to share with this dormitory with the other roommates, there have been many empty rooms left. So the city decided to open the dorm to any citizen under 38 years old. Another benefit of residing here is that if the resident agrees to take a responsibility of being a manager, you can get a 50% of the reduction from your monthly rent payment. Well, the city is trying to help voluntary participation to create a health community.
Almost 10 million people. I'm sure it's not open to everybody as far as qualifications, right?
Of course. The qualification of this general tenant is yet to be determined, but the possible resident qualification would likely to be finalized referring to the fact that Garion Public Dormitory is limited to the person who does not own a home and is under age of 38 years old with the monthly income which shall be lower than 70% comparative to the average household.
I'm completely unqualified for this, unfortunately, just even with the age requirement. But, that's bad news here. Jessica, we are out of time. Thank you very much for joining us once again, and
problem.
we'll talk to you again soon.
Talk to you tomorrow.
We have a text message, actually, 4979 texting us saying, Jessica, I love you. You're already getting fans here in the studio. So congratulations. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Jessica with today's Seoul City News. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back, and we're going to be talking about intercity buses banning standing passengers. It's become controversial. We'll find out why. Stay tuned.